What's special about this, let's face it, pretty nondescript car? Well, believe it or not, since its launch in 1966, they've sold 29 million Toyota Corollas, and that makes it the world's best-selling car, better even than Volkswagen's Beetle or the Model T Ford. There's now been 9 generations of Corolla, and this is its latest incarnation, but it's very different to the boring old previous models. For a start, it's on a new floor pan. It's wider, it's longer, and it's higher than the previous cars. They've moved the wheels to the extreme corners of the vehicle, learning lessons, no doubt, from the Yaris. But make no mistake, this new Corolla is aimed fair and square at the big hitters on the fleet market. Ford's Focus, Vauxhall's Astra, and Volkswagen's Golf. Toyota really are pinning huge hopes on the success of this car. They want to double Corolla sales in its first full year, and a lot of those sales are going to come from the mini MPV version of this car, which pitches straight into that new market created by Renault's Scenic, by Citroën's Picasso, and by Vauxhall's Severa. Inside, well, it's well laid out, rather sombre, you could almost say bland. It's hardly a design guru like, for instance, new Mini or Fiat Multipla. One thing I do like, though, is this ignition, switch on an instrument display taken directly from Lexus. Very impressive. Corolla comes in 4 body styles, 3 and 5-door hatchbacks, estate cars, mini MPVs and a saloon, and they're built all over the world. The hatchbacks are built in Derby, the mini MPV and estate come from Japan, and believe it or not, the saloon is made in Turkey. Top of the range is the Corolla T Sport, 189 brake horsepower, 6-speed gearbox, 16-inch alloy wheels, leather seats, you name it, all the knobs and whistles. New Corolla will have much more appeal than the old model. Despite that heritage of the best-selling car in the world, you're tempted to ask whether they should have ditched the name and the boring image of the old car. That said, all the petrol engines are VVT-I, which apparently means something to Toyota, and although it's the 1.4 version, you seem to be able to twirl it round these mountain roads very competently. It feels a bit nose heavy actually, and there's sort of slight plunging now and again, but as you'd expect for a Corolla, very reassuring, and it's very, very difficult to do anything wrong and get into trouble. And even though it's the base version of the car, comfy seats, they hold you quite well even on these corners. Air conditioning is standard, and this electric steering system seems to work pretty well. It's easy to place the car accurately on the road. So how will this car fare against Focus, Golf, Zara, 307 and Astra? Well, it's a fiercely competitive segment of the market and notoriously price sensitive, and fleet customers in particular won't want to pay a premium over the competition. But if Toyota can generate the same sort of enthusiasm for new Corolla as they have for Yaris, for example, they'll be well on the way.